Did you know the village of Fenney is named after a snail? One of the many things you can learn when walking the Fenney Springs Nature Trail. Today we are at the Fenney Springs Nature Trail, located next to the Fenney Recreation Center in the southern part of the villages. This is a small walking trail. It's less than a mile to cover everything here, much less than a mile. But there's so much stuff packed in there. Yeah. There's so many animals to see, and it's different every time you come. So I have no idea what we're going to find today, but I'm looking forward to taking you on a tour. So let's go check it out. Welcome to Fenney Springs. Fenney Springs is part of the Lake Peninsauken Springs group. It's classified as a second order magnitude spring, which means that the flow is 10 to 100 cubic feet per second. The vent for the spring is located approximately 25 feet under the water line, and the temperature of the water remains constant at 73.6 degrees. Fenney Springs is the only known location for a small species of snail known as the Fenney Springs hydrobe. This information and more can be found throughout the walk on signs that are placed with lots of cool information about the animals and the plants and all that are within this nature trail. As we enter the trail, keep in mind, this is not a zoo. This is a nature area. The animals can come and go as they please. This is their home. They just enjoy living around the spring. We're going to start by going around this boardwalk area. It's 4/10 of a mile in length, and it goes in a circle all the way around the spring and the area it drains to. We were lucky this day and saw several animals, 2 alligators, an owl, several snakes, turtles, a red-headed woodpecker. It was a good day. Here we are at the head of the spring where the water is entering. You'll notice the bubbles or the splashing that's going on there. I always thought that was just air coming in from the spring itself. But Brenda had talked with an expert in the area that said it actually has something to do with catfish on the bottom. So not sure exactly what is causing the bubbles, but it goes on all day long. The area to the left, while not part of the nature trail, is a park that does have trails you can walk around through the live oak trees over to a large lake that is very popular with the bird watchers. This is the first of 2 alligators we saw at Fenney Springs this day. The nice clear spring water there. We'll have another one coming up in a few minutes that is even some better shots. You never know what you're going to see here at Fenney Springs. This one caught us by surprise, a huge red-headed woodpecker. I did the best I could to get photos. We really didn't have the best equipment to be able to get close-up shots of something like this, but it was an amazing bird to see. this was the first day with the new camera that Brenda has. So we've been learning a lot. I think we still need to figure a few things out so we can get some really good quality pictures for you. And Fenney Springs is always full of birds out sunning themselves or hunting for food. You'll see this little fella here, really a big fella, as he dives in the water. I'm assuming to catch a fish. And we're approaching one of my favorite areas of the walk. We filmed in this little area for 2 days for this. One day there was lots of turtles. We got snakes, as you'll see shortly. And then the next day was some great shots of an alligator out sunning himself where the turtles were. Here you'll see a snake slithering into the brush. There were 4 or 5 of them swimming around. Unfortunately, all I had was a GoPro camera, so I couldn't zoom in very close. And here's our second alligator. He was the highlight of our trip for me. That's the same log that all the turtles were on earlier. I guess they decided it was best to move on. On the left-hand side, you'll see the Fenney Recreation Center coming up there. And you can hear some kids in the distance. That is a family pool. So I'm sure some people have their grandkids in town and they're enjoying themselves over there. And we found ourselves one more snake just sunning himself out on a log there by the water. Not sure what type it is. It could be a water moccasin if you ask me, but I'm no expert. absolutely love these live oak trees with the Spanish moss hanging in it. I just think it's gorgeous. I could walk around under those things for hours. If you've been following some of the Facebook pages down here, you may know that there is a family of owls, the parents and 2 baby owls that are down here at Fenney Springs that have been documented by several people with some great photography. We were lucky enough to catch one of those owls here. Don't know if it's Mama or Daddy. As we prepare to walk out of the nature walk of Fenney Springs, we'll take a last look at the spring head where the water is entering. And from here, we're going to continue walking down this path to the right. As we just come out of the springs, but this path will take us through an area full of live oak trees. There's places you can picnic, and it goes by a lake that is just full of birds. It's a very shallow lake, and apparently it's a place that bird watchers just love to come down and take photographs. Hope you enjoyed that walk through the Fenney Springs Nature Trail. Saw a lot of things today. I'm hoping the video is going to come out and you'll be able to see all the things that we ran across. Ran across an owl, an alligator, turtles,
snakes,
yep, a red-headed woodpecker,
yeah.
Lots of stuff that's in there. So we had fun doing it. We'll come down here fairly often looking around, so because it's different every time. But you really need to experience yourself. So if you're in the area, come down and walk through there. The video is not going to do this one justice, I promise you. So now, do me a favor, thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, And if you ring the bell, it'll notify you next time we put a video up as we explore the villages.